Have you ever felt incompetent, inadequate, or not good enough for a certain job or task? Maybe you've been given a responsibility but feel like you're not cut out for it. Or you're given a special task but you lack the skills for it. Or maybe you're the type to compare yourself with others and think, they can do this better than me. I know I have felt that way many times, and if so do you, I think our gospel for today can be very encouraging. Hi friends, brothers and sisters, my name is Tin and welcome to Pathways of Hope. Today's gospel is from Luke 6 verse 12 to 16, and this is when Jesus chooses his 12 apostles and calls them by name. It's very interesting, the people Jesus chose to lead his ministry. He didn't choose the rich, eloquent, educated, popular scholars at the time. And in those days, there were many teachers of the law who would preach well, who had influence over the people. He didn't choose them, but instead, who did he choose? He chose Peter, Andrew, James, John. They were fishermen, ordinary people who weren't rich, they weren't intellectuals, they had no real power or no influence over people. They were just normal nobodies. So why? Why them? Well, if Jesus had chosen the intellectuals, the famous philosophers, then his entire ministry would have rested on human skill. It would have all been because of human power. But because Jesus chose ordinary men, these nobodies, who were eventually able to preach with passion, who performed miracles, who led people to conversion, then we can acknowledge that it wasn't because of their human skill or their talents, but it was because of God's power that was working through them. Not to say that Jesus doesn't acknowledge our intellect, talents, and skills. Of course, he delights in our giftedness because he made us. But our gospel for today reminds us that at the end of the day, God loves us and chooses us for who we are and not what we're able to do. And when God calls us for a task, when he asks us to serve him in some way, he doesn't call those who are already well equipped. He doesn't mind if you still lack the skill. Instead, he equips and strengthens us for the task. He assures us that his grace is sufficient for whatever we need for our mission. And so if you feel like you're being called to serve God, maybe to evangelize, to pursue a vocation, or expand your career so you can help more people, don't be afraid and have confidence in the fact that it is God who will work through you. Remember, God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called. Now, maybe your concern is not so much skill or talent, but worthiness. How many of us have thought to ourselves, I'm a bad person. I've made so many mistakes in my past. I don't deserve to be serving God. Or God doesn't want me, he wants the holy ones. Well, look who else he chose in the 12. Matthew and Judas Iscariot. Matthew was a tax collector, certainly skilled in finances and accounting, and some say Judas was also talented in that area. But Matthew was a tax collector, and he was a sinner because he was engaging in corrupt practices, and he was considered a traitor because he's a Jew who worked for the Roman Empire. And we all know that Judas ended up betraying Jesus in the end, and yet Jesus chose them. These men were sinners, imperfect, not the ones you'd call holy or righteous, yet Jesus chose them. Jesus knew all that Matthew had done, and he knew what Judas was capable of doing, and yet he chose them. Why? Why them? Well, again, it's because God loves us for who we are and not what we're able to do. That includes the bad stuff. And also because God is merciful. He loves us enough not to leave us in a bad place, in a place of darkness and sin, but instead he offers us new life. He gives us second chances and many opportunities to turn away from evil and begin again with him. God loves us enough to transform us and make us better. And so if you feel like you're unworthy to serve God or to follow God, or if you tend to disqualify yourself because of your past or your fear of failure, Look towards Jesus and trust that He loves you, that He chooses you. Trust in His mercy. Trust in His power to redeem all things and restore all things. So friends, as we reflect on today's gospel, let's say these two prayers to the Lord. First is, Lord, equip me for every good work. And two, Jesus, I trust in you to transform me. If you have been blessed and inspired by this reflection, please like and share Pathways of Hope to your friends and loved ones. Again, my name is Tin. Thank you and have a great day.